Hi guys, this is the advisor and welcome back to my channel. The last video I put out, Dancehall, Cult of Death and Destruction, believe me, it was very well received. Nevertheless, I think I have to build on what I've said there because there's still a lot that people do not understand about music and the influence, how it influences people's behavior and can actually change history. There's a lot we don't understand about reggae music and its power, and in this particular case, reggae music. Because it is no exaggeration when I say that the two main things that liberated Africa was the AK-47 rifle and reggae music. Back in the 70s, there were liberation struggle all over Africa. We had the ANC in South Africa. We had MPLA in Angola. We had Frelimo in Mozambique. We had SWAPO in Southwest Africa, which is now called Namibia. We had MPLA in Angola and a lot of other liberation organizations. And you know what kind of music carried those people through? It was reggae music. If these people didn't know anything else, what they use as the battle cry when they're going out to kill the oppressors from Europe, it was reggae music that they use. A lot of people don't realize that. But before I delve more deeply into the into the reggae music and the African, and how it aided the African liberation struggles to success, well, success to some degree, I need to take us back a little. Anybody remember the little songs we used to sing when we were in basic school? We sung all kind of little songs. And those songs help us to learn. And sometimes what those songs teach us, we rivet it in our head and we hold it to this blessed day. I can think of quite a few, but let me think of one. For example, I remember one about 30 days of September, April, June, and November, all the rest of 31, and so on. And to this blessed day, we learned this when we were 4 or 5 years old. And I'm quite sure if you're in your 60s or your 70s now, and you say, October, how much, when the month are done? And you start to remember that memory gem, that little song you used to sing. And straight away, it comes back to you exactly how much days are in October. Which goes to show how music ingrains certain facts of life and certain ways of thinking inside the brain, which stays with you forever and it guides your actions. Well, music was seen as such a critical tool that guides people's action to the extent where we have a country up north of Jamaica. I can't call their name because if I call their name with what I'm about to say, I'm going to be blacklisted. They are going to demonetize my YouTube account and they are going to blacklist my credit cards and all of that. They have done it before because I tried to have some free speech, and these are the people that preach about free speech and democracy every day, but who are everything in the opposite. But I'll call this country the unholy Satan. Just use the first initials of the unholy Satan and you'll know which country I'm talking about. Can't call him name because I'm scared. But there was a person called Philip Agee, a gentleman back in the 70s called Philip Agee. And he burst some information that the unholy Satan was working with somebody in Jamaica called Edward Philip George CIAGA. Can't spell the last name good. He turned against that organization because of some things that they were doing to the Caribbean and the rest of the world. And he handed the then Prime Minister, Michael Manley, a list of people that the president of the unholy Satan needed to eliminate. I mean, kill, actually. And on that list, there was a list of 11 people. And I can't go through all of them now, but I'm going to mention a few. Marcia Griffiths, Burning Spear, Peter Tosh, Bob Marley, Rita Marley, and a few more. But you might wonder, why would the unholy Satan want these people dead? And I'm going to explain to you. It's because of their music and the effect that their music was having on the freedom fighters in Africa. One of the main songs they had up Marcia Griffiths for was a song called Survival. And some of you may remember this song Survival when she said, forces will fight, will be defeated, black man unite, too long separated, walk in Jah light, and do Jah will now. In times like these, survival is the game. Let's play on. When Marcia Griffiths sang a song called Fire Burning, included in the song was a big protest against colonialism. For example, look at the words. I see the fire spreading. It's getting hotter and hot. The haves will have to be in the shoes of the have not. If the sign is on your door, then you will be safe for sure. But if you are in pretense, you're on the wrong side of the fence. And this was something that they were using in Africa as part of the anthem of liberation. And when Rita Marley sung the song and said, forces will fight, they'll be defeated, black man unite, too long separated, walk in Jah light, and do Jah will now, Jah shining light, prophecy fulfilled. To each his own, to everything there is a season. There are cryptic words of protest in those songs. And the people in the African liberation movement and other liberation movement throughout the world were listening, and they were using these things as their anthem. Why they were after Burning Spear, is because Burning Spear sing a song called Christopher Columbus was a damn blasted liar. And that song was so taken over the world, even Japan and so. And believe me, this song was a wake-up call for Africans and the Caribbean and everybody all over the world. And it make the Europeans shaky. When I say Europeans, I include people in the unholy Satan as Europeans also. It is a European country which is on the continent of North America. But the unholy Satan is not an American country. It's a European country in America. Then you have Peter Tosh. Remember, this man sing, we are going to fight against apartheid. And this was what the kosher people were singing in the ANC before going out in protest against apartheid back in those days, in the 70s. Let's get him sing about equal rights. We want equal rights and justice. People remember that song. Peter Tosh again. And him sing Down Presser Man. And Down Presser Man was referring to all these people who were keeping down Africa. And then him sing Vampire. You old vampire. Those songs make the people in the unholy Satan and all his supporters in Europe shaky. That was how important vital the thought music was at the time. We all know the songs about Bob Marley, that Bob Marley sang. And believe me, how the people in the MPLA in Angola and the people in Frelimo, which was in Mozambique, the only English words they knew, because they speak Portuguese, the only English words they knew were with the songs of Bob Marley. That they sung Bob Marley songs before they go out in the bush to go and ambush some Europeans and dirt them. So when the unholy Satan realized all this was going on, what do you think the unholy Satan do? He said, boy, we have to get rid of Jamaicans. These Jamaicans who are doing this, because they are a bad influence on everything that we want to do as a hegemonic nation. And as we all know, Manley did kind of bust the thing, and it couldn't go through as it was because Philip Adjei outed it. However, after Bob Marley went to Zimbabwe at the inauguration of Robert Mugabe and played at that show, and they realized the tens of thousands of people that came out, and Bob Marley and the Wailers were there, that was when a decision was taken. Even if we don't take out everybody on the hit list, Bob Marley had to go. His music was too relevant, and people are singing his songs, and this is the song that is boosting them up to go out there and get rid of the oppressors. It made them fight 10 times harder. And it was Jim Brown, who actually was a foot soldier, who went and actually committed the act along with some his other supporters. So, if the unholy Satan himself realized how powerful the music is, and that the reggae music can cause them to actually lose its colonies in Africa, what makes you think that your little fool, your music out here can make people go and kill innocent people anywhere and everywhere? Why don't you think there's violence there? You people better think again. And let us not forget Buju Banton. When Buju Banton sung Boom Bye Bye, you realize what happened to him? He was blacklisted from half of the world. Now, if Boom Bye Bye wasn't going to let, as far as they're concerned, if Boom Bye Bye was just a song, and it wasn't going to let anybody shoot any limp wrist person anywhere on earth, why did the whole world take it up on them head and decide that no, this song, why did it cause such an outrage if music that have nothing to do with nobody actions? In other words, them cap belly for Buju Banton, them never stop till them set him up, appeal to the weakness and the intrepidity in the man, and use it sink him as a lesson to the rest of us. So this is just confirmation to what I'm saying, that when these charismites out here sing these outrageous so-called dancehall songs and spread it to Trinidad and some other Caribbean countries, and these countries take it up, and all of them get into a frenzy and start destroy people, what are we saying? The music don't have nothing to do with it? The only difference is, and here's the big difference, after the African liberation struggle ended in the late 70s going into the early 80s, what happened? Reggae music just went back to its own, and there was no further bloodshed caused by reggae music, because it was all about gaining freedom from oppressors. That was what the music was used for. But dancehall music these days isn't used for that. It's just mayhem and chaos and toxicity and evil for its own sake. And you know how these crowds might justify the evil that they do? They say that them neighbor out to get them, them friends out to get them, other gangs people out to get them, people from other communities after them. And because other people are everywhere are after them, they have to be armed and they have to try and defend themselves and they have to try and take them out before they get taken out first. So that is the reason why they are saying that the reason why they sing these songs is about their reality. It's just about their own survival and that they have to be doing all the evil that they do for their own survival. It's because it's just self-defense because people are after them. But look at the reggae greats. Look at the reggae greats. Take for example, Bob Andy, Peter Tosh, Bob Marley, Yellow Man, Horace Andy, Beres Hammond, Jacob Miller, for example. None of them nor all the major greats anywhere in the past have ever sung a song saying they need to protect themselves from them friend, or need to protect themselves from them enemy, or they need to protect themselves from their neighbor or anybody in their community or another gang or anything. They sang about life and love and liberty. And they never thought, why is the reason why those people never thought of singing anything about protecting themselves? Why? Because as far as they are concerned, they are decent people who had no enemies. But Charismites, they are so toxic and evil that they have to create enemies. I have to justify the reason why I want to kill others. And they justify it by saying it's just what they have to do in order to survive. So when you do the comparison between the real reggae greats of the 60s, 70s, 80s and into the 90s, and when you look at the charismatism from about 2010, 2015 to now, because just about 10 years or so, this charismatism has started and this generation of vipers start coming up. And with the dancehall lyrics to match. So even though reggae music and the AK-47 liberated Africa, so far we have an AK-47 and the Mozambican flag. But we don't have the reggae music and any of the African flags. But believe me, it is just as important, and those were the two vital things. So this is just a bit of history. We as Jamaicans need to know the power of our music and how it changed the world. Guys, like, share, leave a comment below, and I look forward to seeing you in my next